Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another installation of just a little bit of a tech tip. This right here, this is an Element associated Stealth X gearbox, which would be found in any Element vehicle not fitted with the Stealth XF. I have a love-hate relationship with the Stealth XF. We're not going to get into that right now. We're going to talk about the Stealth X, because people get their Stealth X, they assemble it. It is one of my favorite gearboxes in the 3-gear variety because it has a sufficient amount of gear reduction. It has a wide variety of spur and pinion fitments in both 48 pitch and 32 pitch. And pretty much all by itself out of the market, you can build this gearbox with 0, 6%, 12%, 18%, or 25% internal underdrive, which gives you a lot of freedom. That gives you a lot more gearing options in axles and portals. You can really fine-tune the amount of underdrive, overdrive, final drive ratio. If you pair one of these with TRX4 axles, you can get nearly 100-to-1 gear reduction. And the two gears, there are two gears right here. The two gears right next to each other are nylon. So, stealth, it is very quiet in service. Like, this thing doesn't make any noise. It does have a drawback in its stock configuration as it comes fitted to, I'm pretty sure, every Element vehicle that it comes fitted to. And that is, we don't do this way. Don't use just meat force to hold the spur gear in place. And that is, some people think that they'll put their motor in here for the first time and it will go, and they think that it's this guy. These are actually not bad. As far as a molded spur gear that comes in a vehicle, this one has very low run out. That's pretty flat. These are what Element Associated, again, calls Octalock. These fit 2 different styles of retention. And the problem in your Stealth X is this. Because these are just molded, and they're molded off of a tree, just like every other little, they'll come in a little tree of plastic parts if you're building the kit. These are seldom centric. They're going to make your spur gear go like this instead of they're gonna move around. This pair is actually pretty close, but we have some experience with others. I make every effort possible not to run these in anything. I also don't run a whole lot of those Octalock spurs. This is all the same spur, and that is because they come in a singular flavor. They come fitted to the vehicle in a 48 pitch, 87 tooth, and there's nothing wrong with that. You still have a reasonable amount of gearing range. But what if you want a different gearing? What if you've fitted this with your TRX4 axles, and now you don't want a 100-to-1 gear ratio, so you're going to need a smaller spur and a bigger pinion. And we do have options for that, but primarily, here's the first thing. The smallest expenditure that you can do is you can go to the purchasing place of your choice, ASC 42033, Factory Team Stealth X Spur Gear Hub Aluminum. Do I wish that these came fitted to every kit? Yes, I do. As you can see, they're the same thing. You put one on here, which replaces the plastic one. This guy goes back on. You put the front one on, and then you tighten the nut down like this. And as I said, the quality of the spur is pretty good. So that is, do we have any run out? No. That will now be dead quiet. Dead quiet. The issue that I have with it is I don't believe in these as a thing. Now, in some fitments, you don't have a choice. The output shaft that comes out of the gearbox, FMM, what have you, is only long enough to fit a spur gear fitted with 2 of these slipper eliminator plates. I make every effort not to run these. I never want to run these, and I want to run these only sparingly. I am a big believer in the slipper clutch. And we don't use them here in this sort of application as a slipper clutch. Tuning a slipper clutch is difficult. Setting a slipper clutch up for a rock crawler is not difficult, because what we want that clutch to do is basically act as our fail-safe, because you're either going to break a drive shaft, snap a universal, shear your drive pins off, because when you get bound up and you put like FOC fusion power through it, you're going to break stuff. So the way to stop that, and the beauty of the Stealth, is that you order yourselves either ASC 7485, which is what these are, or, I'm sorry, I was blocking that, 7485 or 7495. The difference is the 7495 ones are cross-drilled. I would not specifically advise the cross-drilled ones, but sometimes they're the only thing that's in stock. And then what you're going to need is, I do not have a good illustrating example of associated slipper pads. There are a number of different ones. There's the Pro Lights. There are the older ones that look like this. There are the thinner disc ones, which my brain is not retaining the number. 9611. There's also 9603. All the relevant links will be below. It will cost you, in general, probably around $25 to assemble a slipper for this, which is a shame. It should come fitted with one. The beauty of it is, here's the gear that comes in the vehicle, and then the pads drop right in there. Any of the Octolock slipper plates will also fit in here. Vision Racing makes carbon fiber slipper plates, which you can't see, but you'll know that they're carbon fiber. They're designed for particularly high power applications, and the installation is as simple as one would imagine. You put that down. The easiest way is to, because these used to fit tighter, but now they've been used a lot. There. Goes like that. They come in a 2-pack, so you slap the second pad down. You put the outer plate on. It's really not complicated. What we're here mostly for is to provide you with links to buy the relative pieces. This is an elastomer. It's really all you need. Generally, a slipper clutch will be fitted with a spring, but to get that spring, if you don't have one, you're probably going to have to buy an entire slipper assembly, and those are going to cost about $35 to $40. If you're not averse to that, Associated has multiple factory team options, and Associated and Element, thankfully, in their days, they've used the same form factor of the top shaft. Oh, I didn't get the pad to seat, so wobble. You got to be a little more careful putting the slipper together than I was, trying to get us through this. Again, all of the parts will be linked. The Octolink slippers, the slippers for the buggies and the trucks and everything else. Also with these pads, if you happen to have, this is a 56 tooth from a Phoenix. This is the Incision. I can't remember the number. I feel like it ends in 411. I'll put it in the link. You can drop that right down. Same exact thing. Put a plate down over it. We'll use our same elastomer and put a nut over it. This is an inexpensive way to get you to 32 pitch, and it is becoming a little bit more difficult to locate 32 pitch gears specifically for Element. I don't know why. I still have some older ones that have pretty much a lot of their functional serviceable life is behind them, but there's a 55 tooth that doesn't have much on. They look just like that. Kimbrough, fortunately, makes an entire array of 48 pitch. There's an 84 tooth. They go all the way down. There's a 76. They make an 81. There's an 87, which is just the Octolink, but in Kimbrough. Kimbrough makes a fantastic gear. They're super, super quiet. And for the vehicle that this will be fitted to, honestly, I'm thinking about going with this with this Vanquish, but we'll put the slipper together. These pads are a lot easier to get. Many of the part numbers for the Associated pieces come up as discontinued. I've had to buy the carbon fiber ones a couple times because I don't know why. Well, I do. I mean, I have my negative thoughts as to why they've turned away from providing us with slipper clutches, and that is a slipper clutch prevents part breakages. And then I tell myself, stop being so negative, but it seems to swing back around on me no matter how hard I try. So we're going to slap that 55 on there, the old Associated 55. Tighten that down. If you do happen to have a spring that will fit it, you basically just tighten it all the way down. You back it off about 1/8 of a turn. Do it by hand. Don't do it with power like I did. And then, because we have an elastomer, I don't think I tightened the elastomer down enough. We get nice and true. I'm not saying that they used to make the gears more true. I'm not saying that they used to give us a slipper clutch on every gearbox, but they did. I will put as many relevant links as I can in the description below, because basically what I would like is, and you can ask me, go ahead and ask. I won't have an answer. You can ask me, why don't you just throw all of those away? I don't know. I just keep them. So, I mean, if you can, if running a slipper is possible in your application, I recommend it. Particularly on a Stealth X, because if you do start to get slip, it's the best possible bad thing to happen. You've eliminated, there's always a weak link in every chain, and you've basically made your weak link not consumable. You'll be out on the rocks, you've been driving, you've had a couple sessions, you're out driving, and you'll go, and it'll go, and you'll hear this, and you'll just notice a wheel has stopped. But you'll have this beautiful warm feeling inside of you, which is the knowledge that nothing just broke. You'll take a 7mm wrench or a cross wrench, and you'll go, and you're back in business. The slipper clutch needs to make a resurgence in this hobby, and it kills me that it is becoming more and more difficult to obtain the pieces to do it. So, strongly recommended. I will accumulate as many links as I can to put in the description below. Like these, if all you want to do is eliminate the run out, just get the factory team machined ones, which will cost you about $15, I think. I would spend about double that money and assemble a slipper like what's on there, because it is truly inexpensive for peace of mind. So there you go. I'm gonna clean up the tremendous mess that I've made, and I will see you all in the next one, I hope.